For billionaire Ray Dalio, Bitcoin is like a digital version of gold, but not quite. Dalio said, and I quote, "If you put a gun in my head and I had to say I had to pick one, gold or Bitcoin, I would always choose gold." Dalio revealed in May that he owns an undisclosed amount of Bitcoin, after previously raising concerns about cryptocurrencies for years. Still, he isn't completely abandoning everything else he has. He bought into Bitcoin and owns a small amount because he believes in diversifying. He believes Bitcoin is something like digital gold. In 2017, Dalio stepped down as co-CEO of Bridgewater Associates after building his company into the world's largest hedge fund. He now serves as Bridgewater's chairman and co-chief investment officer, and re-emerged in the entrepreneurial world last year by launching Principles, a people management software startup. He's been long on gold and believes that we're going to be in the midst of a bull run. In fact, in 2019, he wrote on LinkedIn that gold will help balance a person's portfolio if they're looking to reduce some risk. And he actually has some of the portfolio of his own in gold. Globally, central banks currently hold more than 35,000 metric tons of gold, about a fifth of all the gold ever mined, according to Reuters. Typically, central banks hold gold to diversify their reserves, and since gold is a finite physical commodity, it is a natural hedge against inflation. Dalio also believes that Bitcoin can also hedge against inflation, but if forced to choose between gold and Bitcoin, he picked gold due to its long history and its storehold of wealth, meaning an asset that can be held and converted into money at a relatively similar rate as its purchase price. In other words, Bitcoin's volatility is a concern for Dalio, and not his only one. In Dalio's mind, there's a reasonable chance that Bitcoin could eventually be outlawed by the federal government. The nearly century-old precedent can be traced back to 1934, when President Franklin D. Roosevelt signed the Gold Reserve Act, transferring all the country's privately held gold, titles, and certificates to the United States Department of Treasury. At the time, the U.S. adhered to the gold standard. Roosevelt hoped to boost the country's economic coming out of the Great Depression by devaluing the dollar. Any major economic downturn or inflationary event, Dalio told Yahoo Finance, could prompt similar action on Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies from federal governments across the world. There's two important lessons in this story. One, and probably the most important one, is diversification. As rich as Dalio is, he values the need to put his wealth into different assets. Second, he doesn't have faith in crypto, but still decided to invest in it for the sheer possibility. His strongest hedge remains gold, because it's stable and it's tangible. If the billionaire deems it fit to protect himself with gold, why shouldn't you? I think that's a very strong argument. If you want to learn about investing in gold, call us. It'll take you more than 5 minutes if you want to set up a gold IRA, or just purchase some gold and get sent home directly to your doorstep. Don't worry if you have questions, we're here to answer all of them. In a no pressure environment, you can just ask questions. If you're interested in investing in precious metals and you want to talk to a no hassle representative that has experience in physical metal, give us a call. Phone number is 877-646-5347. Our phone lines are always open and we're happy to answer any of your questions.